What's going on, everyone? Welcome. I'm your host, Coach Ricks, and you've entered Coaches Talk, where we discuss all things OU related, sports related, and all things in between. Before we get started, guys, could you please hit that like button, hit that red subscribe button, ring that bell so you'll catch all content that I have going forward. I want to get on here today and read some questions that some listeners have emailed in to me. Uh, it's been a while since I've been on. I think it's been a few days. Been kind of busy, but I like to always answer these questions because I want the listeners to know that I do get the emails. I do get the response that you get to me to TikTok and Instagram. I do get those questions, so I jotted them down today, and I'm going to try to get some answers, and then maybe give insight on OU's first game between Temple and Oklahoma. Give my score prediction and give my little assessment of how the game's going to go. So first, we're going to jump into these questions. Like I said, I love answering these questions. It means a lot to me that you take the time out of your day to email me questions. It makes me feel good, man, that I'm doing the right thing and people want to know and they want to hear what I'm talking about. So let's get to these questions. First question we have is from Dylan Thomas from Macon, Georgia. Coach Ricks, what team do you think will give OU its first challenge? I think that's tough. And any team that has the SEC logo on their jersey is going to give Oklahoma a challenge because everyone's going to give OU their best shot. That's Oklahoma. When Oklahoma comes to your school, or you go to Oklahoma, you go to Norman, you're gonna get their best. So of course, the first team is going to be Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to bring a great challenge. I think Oklahoma has. I would give them the nod in that game just because of the defense and the game being at home. Um, Bringing the freshman into Norman under that pressure and under that type of well, the pressure is going to be on him a lot. I think that he's going to come in there and try to do too many things, and it's going to get him in trouble. I think this game is going to be very close to run up third or fourth quarter, and then I think Oklahoma is going to start to run the ball, uh, hit a pass here or there, and pull that game out. I'll say them winning by 10 points probably on that game. But I would say Tennessee start off with anybody else that has a SEC logo on their jersey. Thank you for that question, Dylan. The next question comes from Jack Simmons from Poto, Oklahoma. Old stomping ground. Coach Ricks, do you think that with Jaden Gibson being out for the season, or longer or shorter, who do you see stepping up to fill that void? Boomer. I think Hester can step up. I think that I think Kearney can step up. Um, you know, I think we have a lot of young guys that can come in and contribute and everything to give us that momentum that we need. But filling in for Jaden, man, he worked his butt off to get to where he is right now, and this is going to be probably his breakout season going to the SEC. 6'6" frame, 205 pounds, man. That's a big frame that you're going to miss. Throwing the ball to mainly down on the goal line in the red zone. That 6'6" frame, man, can come in handy. But I think that with us having the best receiving coach besides Ohio State's coach, I think Oklahoma's in good hands. I think they're in good hands. Next question comes from Cynthia Jones. It just says Michigan. I don't know what part of Michigan. Thank you for the question, Cynthia. Per your last podcast, you said you were going to do an Olympic recap on your podcast. So far, what has been the best event or game you have seen? Well, I would think the game that we just saw today, I think Serbia almost beating Team USA. I think that was a shocker. But, you know, when you're playing somebody twice, they get the formula after the first game. And then they'll come in there and, change up a few things. They'll try to run a few more plays, try to counter what you did the first time. But I think that, when you got Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, you can put the ball in their hand. they can get any kind of shot they want to get. And with Curry getting 36 points, man, that's hard to beat, man. And you got to give Serbia, man. They came out shooting lights out, shooting 68% from the field the first half, man. Making almost 23s. That's hard to beat somebody, man, when you're doing that. So I would say that game, of course, Gabby Thomas winning the 200-meter relay. I mean, Gabby's been awesome doing the Olympic tryouts. So well, not the tryouts, doing the Olympics. Then, of course, you got to talk about Simone Biles and everything, man, getting 11 medals, a total of 11 medals, man, total for the Olympics. That's hard to do, man. I mean, just getting one is hard to do, but to get a total of 11, that's hard, man. And then, of course, today, Sydney McClellan, that's it, Levron, setting the 400-meter hurdles. Man, look, I think the count right now is 103 to 73, which is China being in second place. I think America ain't playing. USA ain't playing, man. We finally showed up, and we're finally doing what we're supposed to do. You work all year, couple of years to get to this point, and now you get to the biggest stage of it all, and you give your all, and you're showing out. That's impressive, man. That I got to take my hat off for that, man. That's impressive, man. Kudos to those guys and young women for going out there, man, making their Olympic dream come true, man. That's really impressive. And I'm happy for them guys and females. Next question is from John Simmons, Jasper, Alabama. Coach Ricks, I'm a Auburn fan and have been a fan for over 30 years. I don't know much about Oklahoma, but what I hear from the media and other social media outlets, my question is, why does everyone have Texas as the great team, yet Oklahoma has owned the Big 12 for years? P.S. Can't wait for the head-to-head game with Oklahoma. Okay. Thank you for the question, John. I think everybody's going by what they saw last. They saw Texas make it to the CFP against Washington, even though Washington made a few mistakes in that game. They should have blew Texas out, but it is what it is. Texas did make it to the CFP for the first time out of the Big 12, but Oklahoma has owned the Big 12. People can sit here and say what they want to say. They're going off perception. The perception was Texas is back. We've heard that multiple times. We heard it in 2018 or 19 when they beat Georgia, and I think that was the Sugar Bowl. And then the next year, they go 7-5 or 6-5 or whatever it is. I'm not a Texas fan. I could care less. But Texas has only had one 10-win season in the last 10 years. So you really can't say that they're the best team. I think they're hot right now. Everyone sees Sark as the coach. He used to be at Alabama. So the perception is he can come into the SEC and do the same thing at Texas. I would not want to have that Texas job. Texas job is chaos. I mean, the administration and everything has proven that if you're not about politics for the school, that you're not gonna last there long. And I don't see Stark being there 3 or 4 more years. I mean, if you go into the SEC and you don't have a good year this year with this schedule that you have, it's only gonna get tougher for you because next year the schedule changes and you get a little bit more tougher competition. I have them losing 4 games this year. Oklahoma, Georgia, Michigan. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I have Arkansas surprising them. Arkansas's beaten them the last 3 times. So with Pacino coming back and everything, you never know. Bobby man can can ring up some plays and put Texas in some bad situations, and then next thing you know, those 4 losses, the wheels start coming off. So I don't know, man. And then the game with Auburn, it's gonna be a good game. I mean, people are underestimating Oklahoma, but at the same point in time, man, Oklahoma gonna have some tough games. They're gonna have some tough games, man, because you're playing tough teams week in and week out. There are no more Kansas. There are no more Iowa States. There are no more Baylors. There are no more Oklahoma State. I mean, even though, I mean, you got to look at it for what it is. Oklahoma ran the Big 12, and there was a team that might get lucky from time to time to beat Oklahoma and shock them and pretty much wake them up. And then Oklahoma go on a run to win the Big 12 and then go to the CFP. So if we do what we're supposed to do in the SEC, I see Oklahoma probably losing 2 games, 3 to the most. You can pick any 3 you want, but I don't see them losing to Missouri like everyone thinks they're going to lose to Missouri. I don't see them losing to Texas. Texas had their best year last year. Oklahoma beat them. Oklahoma is bringing back almost everyone on defense to go against that offense. And I think they'll be prepared this year for all the trick plays and the reverse plays and all that kind of stuff that Sark had to do last year just to get that lead to pretty much lose the game to Oklahoma in the last few seconds. So, John, man, that's a good question, man, and I thank you, man, for the question. I thank everyone for the questions because I never thought that I would get questions sent to me in the email or text or Instagram. Never ever got DM before, and I'm getting all these questions now, man. So once you DM me and give me the questions, I'm definitely going to answer those questions because I want you guys to understand. I love doing this. I love talking about sports. Any kind of sports you want to talk about, any kind of question you want to ask me, just present it to me. I'll look it over and I'll be sure and jot it down. I'm gonna get to the point to where I'm better at the computer aspect to where I can put it on the screen and then we can chat about it. I'm gonna start doing a lot more live podcasts so we can have customers chime in and chat in and give comments and we can shoot the breeze and I can answer those questions as they ask me live. So again, I appreciate everything, man, that everybody's been doing so far. I'm only gonna get better at this. Hopefully, man, I can do 3 or 4 videos a week. Hopefully, if work permits it. When you're doing 12s and everything, it's kind of hard to come home and want to get on here. But I want to make it I want to make it a promise. I want to make a promise to you guys that I'm gonna try to do my best to do a 3 or 4 a week, and then have Mike jump on once or twice, and then probably jump on some more podcasts. Probably jump on with Jason. Haven't got familiar with all the other guys that's on that side, but I know Shorty and everything is in Georgia. Looking forward to jumping on his podcast whenever the time comes. Bishop Franks, I want to jump on his podcast or have him on mine. Like I said, a lot of guys out there, man, that I know, that I look up to, man, that I would love for you guys to come on and, help me rock out a few questions, jump in with me, help me do a few things and talk about some sports, talk about Oklahoma, talk about the SEC, how we do it. But we're going to jump on Oklahoma and Temple, get a few stats about that, and then give my predictions and give my score, and then get up out of here, man. It's almost midnight here, and I want to try to get some sleep. We were playing Temple. Temple's coming to Norman. They're bringing back 5 starters on offense, 2 receivers, running back, quarterback, and offensive lineman, I believe. So E.J. Warner, he threw for 3,000 yards last year, 23 touchdowns, 12 assists, 12 interceptions. Darvin Hubbard averaged 34.3 rushing yards per game last year. He accumulated 3 rushing touchdowns out of that 34.3 rushing yards per game. Ahmad Anderson Jr. was targeted 5 times per game, piled up a total of 647 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns over the course of 2023. Jordan McGee provided to he was a strong defender last year, recorded 3.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, and 77 tackles. That's pretty impressive, man. Yeah, that's somebody that you might have to look out for, but to get to record 3.5 sacks and 10 tackles for loss and 77 tackles, that's pretty good, man. I mean, that's something to be it's not too shabby. And then you have Taiwan Francis, who racked up 2 interceptions, 72 tackles, and 4 tackles for loss. 3 passes defended a year ago. So they got some pretty good. They got some players on that side, man. That's gonna, present some trouble for some players if they don't show up with their mind right. But I think Oklahoma's gonna come in, man, try to make a statement. I think with Dylan gone, and then you bring Jackson Arnold in. You got Sawchuck back there. I think now with Javante Barnes being back, fully healthy, what we're hearing from fall camp is that he's back to that physical, nasty runner that we got used to when he was a freshman. I think with him and Gavin being back there in the backfield, man, we're going to get a replica of what happened between OU and Florida State. I think Gavin and Javante Barnes, man, I think they both had over 100 yards or pretty close to 100 yards for both of them. That's impressive, man. We had 2 freshmen do that against a stellar defense. So I think with these guys being a little bit older, a little bit more mature, Smitty getting them in the weight room, them getting a little bit more physical, bigger body mass. I think, man, when you go into the SEC, you're going to have to be, you got to be a bruiser because they're going to load the box. They're going to try to force Oklahoma to pass the ball, which is crazy because Oklahoma's wide receiving their group is crazy. Even if we did lose Jaden Gibson, man, they still got depth at the receiver. So, and then adding Deion Branch is going to be insane. So, I don't think it's going to be. I think that first game, man, is going to be a statement game for Oklahoma. I think they're going to come out and try to make a statement. I think they're going to come out and try to be physical. I think they're going to come out and make their will or will their way to an easy victory. I don't see the starters being in the game past halftime. I think that the second string, third string will come in, and I think they will finally get the depth up to par to where when Tennessee comes to town and then when they go to Auburn, everybody will be ready. And, playing time is very vital when you go in the SEC. You can't just have your ones and your twos. You got to have your threes and your fours. You got to have those guys ready to step in because if your 1 and 2s goes down, your 3s and 4s will step up because they've had playing time. They've had the reps, and reps is very important when you go into the SEC. You have a mature defense now. So with 9 returning starters on defense, and then you have multiple guys that have had starting time and had multiple time on the field, I think Oklahoma's going to go in there, man, and surprise some folks. So I see the game, man, being something around 69-14, probably 69-17. I don't see Temple scoring more than 17 points. When you bring the third and fourth screen in, I think sometimes, you might miss an assignment, miss a call, miss a blitz, miss a coverage, and then give up a big play that might lead to a touchdown or a field goal. But I don't see this game being close. So I see Oklahoma winning by more than the 42.5 point spread. I will take the over in this game, 59.5. If Oklahoma going to score in the 50s, regardless. I just can't see Temple scoring more than 14 to 17 points. So that should be a blowout. And then I think tomorrow or Saturday, we're going to jump into some more with Oklahoma, but we're also going to jump into with Mike, probably do the Olympic recap, and then we're going to do the Fort Coffee All-Stars, my old stomping ground. Family and friends are going to probably be on live with me Saturday as we fill out that bracket for the 20 best male football players, the 20 best male basketball players, the 20 best female basketball players, and the 20 best female track and field. So we're going to fill that out Saturday. So if you don't have anything to do, rock with your boy, come on in, take your shoes off and everything, man, make yourself comfortable. I don't want to steal nobody's line. I think my boy says that, so I'm not going to say that no more. I think that's Jason's line. So I'm going to find something else like to say because I don't like to copy to someone and everything, man, who means a lot to me. That's my boy, and I don't want to take any of his shine. So until then, man, love you guys, man. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for coming in and showing support. Thank you for the emails. Keep them coming. I'm going to answer all of them whenever I get them. And you ain't got to be a fan. You can be an opponent that see my podcast up and, like what you hear and like what you see. Come on in, man, and answer a few questions, man. I'll answer it, And if I'm on live and you come in there, man, and we don't vibe, hey, keep coming back. I'm not going to block you out. I'm not going to mute you. I mean, we can agree to disagree. That's what the game of football is, and that's what the love for the game is. You're going to have your side of the story. I'm going to have my side of the story, and we're just going to chop it up. Until then, man, love you guys, man. Coach Rick's out, man. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed.